Yo, what's happening, Raider Nation? It's your boy Soto here. You know what it is. Raiders versus the world, talking about the team that the world loves to hate, your Las Vegas Raiders. All right. So every offseason, there's like these major mistakes that teams need to avoid. And this year, we have 6 of them. Before we get to that, want to make sure everyone please like, comment, and subscribe to this video. It's a great way to support this channel. It's absolutely free. And it's the absolute bare minimum you can do to help this channel besides doing absolutely nothing. All right, guys, if you're ready, let's get to it. So last week I read this article and I'm like, wow, this might make a pretty good video. Then a bunch of stuff happened. Max Crosby signed an extension and that was all anyone was talking about. Then Geno Smith gets traded to the Raiders and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of stuff happening that was talked about in the article that I wanted to make a video on. But there's 6 things and there's still plenty of things that we can talk about. So I'm going to make it anyway. All right, the first mistake to avoid was signing Aaron Rodgers. And we dodged that bullet. Big time. Rodgers is 41 years old. It's kind of a risky bet. Only Tom Brady has really been successful after 40 in the NFL. Rodgers' play has declined steadily since 2021. It's injuries and inconsistency and just locker room issues. It's just not really what Pete Carroll wanted to bring into the franchise if he wants to put in his culture. He said he wanted to bring guys in from outside, but he also said he wanted to build a culture that he built at USC and with Seattle. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is on board with building anyone else's culture but his own. There was better quarterback options out there like Geno Smith. He's not the flashiest quarterback out there, but he's a good, solid quarterback. He knows the culture, and most of all, Pete Carroll trusts him. Rodgers just isn't worth the headache. All right, the next mistake to avoid is drafting Shedeur Sanders early. A warning for any team picking high in the first round. Sanders is not a safe pick despite his talent. He's got some off-field concerns, just arrogance, entitlement, some commitment questions, and he has some on-field flaws as well. He holds on the ball too long, too concerned about his completion percentage to throw the ball away when he needs to, lacks high-level anticipation on his throws. He's not a top 10 prospect in most scouts' eyes. I really do think that Mel Kiper Jr. only put him as high as he did because he's a quarterback and he feels like he'd be drafted higher and kind of wants to get the glory of putting him up higher, closer to his draft position. Unless he falls out of the top 8, 9, 10 picks or so, I wouldn't draft Shedeur Sanders that high. There are safer options out there if you're drafting like a Cam Ward or like what the Raiders did and trade for a veteran. All right, next on the mistakes to avoid this offseason is giving Sam Darnold starter elite money. Check, double check. Look, I wanted Sam Darnold partially because of the ties to USC. I'm a USC fan, but he did show a lot of good things last season with a good team with Minnesota. But there's just too many red flags out there to give him the kind of money I think he's going to want. Now, Darnold proved he can handle a good team last season, but he did flop in clutch moments. Week 18 against the Lions and in the playoffs against the Rams, he just didn't play really well at all. It just showed a glaring weakness that if he has to take over a team and do things on his own, he's just not going to be able to do it. He looked skittish. He was high on his throws. He looked a little nervous. He didn't play well, and he didn't show up. I can understand not having a good game, but being gritty about it, he didn't do either. He's going to want like 40+ mil a year, and that's kind of steep for a guy who really hasn't shown any consistency over the long term. He's better as more of a bridge quarterback, a short-term quarterback. I don't think he's looking for that. I think he wants a longer contract, and I don't blame him. He's coming off his best season of his career, a really good season, an MVP up until probably week 14 or 15. I don't know, man. I just think he's going to want to cash in on a longer term, and there's going to be some teams out there who are going to be a little bit more desperate to do it. And I'm glad it wasn't us. All right, the next mistake to avoid this offseason for the Raiders is trading for Deshaun Watson. Quadruple check. We did not do that, stayed far away. I don't know, man. Deshaun Watson has done everything he could do the last couple seasons to really hurt his value in the NFL. Watson's early success with Houston's going to tempt teams maybe to take a flyer on him, but his play since 2020 has been really bad. And now he's recovering from back-to-back Achilles tears. I don't know, man. It just looks worse and worse for Deshaun Watson. His baggage and distractions really just outweigh any positive that he may have, even if Cleveland takes some of his contract, which I doubt they're going to want to take a lot of. He just steer clear, man. I just really think that Deshaun Watson is a lost cause. Okay, the 5th mistake that the Raiders need to avoid this offseason is investing in post-prime free agents. Overpaying for aging stars based on their past glory is a trap. Think of the cougar at the end of the bar. The lighting's bad, the drinks are flowing, she looks a lot better than she actually is. Those are aging free agents in the NFL. As much as I hate to say it, one of the aging veterans to avoid is probably Khalil Mack. Now, he has flashes, but for the money he's going to want, he's just not worth it. Another one is Aaron Jones. He's 30. He played pretty well last season with the Vikings, but 30-year-old running backs with that kind of mileage on them, I just steer clear. There's too many running backs out there that you can build long-term with. One that I'm kind of iffy on is Chris Godwin. He's a big culture guy. He's productive when he's healthy, but he's been injury-prone the last couple seasons. If you want to roll the dice on it, I can see that because he is very talented, but it's going to be an iffy proposition. Okay, the last mistake to avoid this offseason is trading up in the draft. I know. It seems like a lot of teams go out there and do it and like, oh, wow, trading up in the draft, that's what you got to do. You have to go get your guy and this and that. Yeah, I understand that. And I've said that so myself, but the numbers prove different. History shows it. Moving up for a quarterback in the first round is rarely worth it. And history has shown some pretty spotty results. Okay, out of 21 quarterbacks that they were acquired through a trade up in the first round in the last 16 drafts, only Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen have truly paid off. Now, the jury's still out on Bryce Young, but ultimately, I don't know, man. It's going to be tough. But if you're looking for a franchise guy, you're better off letting him come to you or getting him in free agency. Patience beats overpaying in a draft crapshoot. You want to have the player there, yeah, but you also want to look at a player and develop him. Part of that is being able to develop him over a long period of time. So you need to be a good front office and good coaches to be able to hang on long enough to develop the player and get the fruits of your labor. So that's a double-edged sword there. It's not only developing a guy, but also having a good coaching staff to stick around long enough to develop a guy and watch him flourish. So it's a lot of things happening at the same time. And ultimately, I think our best bet right now is to trade back to maybe the low double digits in this first round and pick up some more picks because I really want to go big game hunting for prime guys, not aging stars. All right, guys, that's my time for today. Let me know what you think of the video. We've avoided some of these. Some of these can still be pitfalls for us. I really like what we're doing so far in the offseason. I'm super pumped up for free agency, and I'm really excited to see what we're going to do in the draft. All right, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this video. It's a great way for you to support this channel, and it's absolutely free. It's also the bare minimum you can do to help this channel grow without doing absolutely nothing. All right, guys, appreciate your time. Until next time, everybody, peace. All right, Raider Nation, if you're watching this far, you may have already watched this video before. And I'm not talking about just the time you just watched it, but I posted this video earlier today if you're watching this on a Sunday. All right, so what happened was there was a lot of mistakes in editing that I didn't catch because I was simply exhausted. I'm telling you this because I thought it was pretty funny. I was going to let most of them go, and then there was just some really egregious ones that I'm just like, man, that looks really bad. I want to give you guys good content, so I had to take the first one down. Had a ton of views to start off with, but you know what? Nah, I got to put good content out for you guys. So I took it down, edited the video one more time, and now I'm putting it back up. So if you're watching this again and you're still watching, I appreciate you because you're watching for a long time. Story behind that is I have 3 jobs, all right? I have my day job. I coach and I manage a Muay Thai fight gym at night. And I also do this. Plus, I have 2 podcasts. I have the Windbags and I have this. So I don't have a lot of time. What I do is I look at stories and things that I want to talk about, and I do them all in one day. And then I slow release them throughout the week. That has positives and negatives. One of the positives is I get the more efficient use of my time, right? And I'm able to put out slow leak throughout the week. A negative is sometimes these videos age out with breaking news. So what I'm trying to do lately is only do 1 or 2 days in advance and then release them so it's more fresh and up to date for you guys. Well, sometimes I just don't have a ton of time to do it, and I'm doing it really late at night, and that's what happened in this case. I was editing last night. I was super worn down and tired, and all the mistakes just slipped past me. I corrected them, and if you're still watching, I still appreciate you, and I hope you liked the video. Hey, Raider Nation, thanks for watching. There's plenty more where that came from. Go ahead and smash that like button, drop a comment, make sure to subscribe, and share to all your socials. It's the bare minimum you can do without doing absolutely nothing.